Hello collectors, it's Steven here with a review of the Figma Link Twilight Princess DX Edition. This figure was released twice at the same time, one version with minimal accessories and then the DX version with a ton of them. The figures are identical otherwise in that the DX version comes with everything the normal comes with. Anyway, a realistic version of Link finally joins the Figma line and with many iconic accessories. But with a somewhat hefty price tag, for some anyway. Is this figure worth it? Or is Hyrule doomed forever? Well, let's take a look to see whether or not it's worth adding into your collection. Link looks really nice, though some of the initial concerns about him being too thin compared to the in-game model were realized in the final product. Alongside this, there are a few paint issues which are small. I didn't notice them until I started taking pictures for this review, and a couple issues which may be really concerning in the long run. Regardless, he still looks nice and transitioned very well from the prototype. The face details are kept well, the default one looking angry a bit, and the earring has appropriate paint. I have to say I'm rather impressed with the face and the head. The cap has nice folds to it, and you'll see why in a bit this is so nice to mention, because the sculpt is accommodating to fluid motion. However, his hair on the back has a green spray. The chest is where we begin to see some of the finer details and some of the smaller quality control issues. The tunic has a nice paint and sculpt as well as the undershirt, which is really appreciated, but the gold chainmail, despite looking nice and making the Skyward Sword Figma look even worse, can have some, at least it looks like it, flaking in some spots. These would be some of the black dots you see near the bottom. Or it's just paint that was missing. You'll also see random gold spray drops that went astray in some areas too. Anyway, if that is flaking, that's worrisome for the longevity of the figure. Otherwise, his fanny packs are nicely done, belts look nice, and despite his pants being too light in color, I think the legs and the boots look awesome. Some issues make you WTF, others are minor and you'll only see them up close. In sum, Link's looks are pretty nice. The greatest aspect of Link here is that he is a phenomenal action figure, and we're about to see why. So first up, we have the cap. This portion here is on a swivel hinge combo, the typical Figma style joint, not a true ball joint. So we can move it around, twist it, and turn it, which is great to accommodate for action poses. The head is attached on a Figma style joint and ball joint combo, so this way you can get Link to look around in all sorts of different directions, up and down. And as you can see here, I just noticed that. I didn't see that before. This portion of Link is on a hinge, a ball joint, it looks like. That's really cool. I did not know that. That's really cool. Anyway, so yeah, that part moves. Next up, we have the shoulders, which first and foremost, there's a hinge or a butterfly joint. So as you can see there, you can move Link's arms forward like that. So this way he's all jacked. Then we have ball joints plugged into the shoulders at the body. We have ball joints here where they're connected into the actual arm part itself. We get a swivel. We get a little bit of a hinge functionality here. That's actually due to a ball joint in the post, and you're able to move it around like that. So that's pretty cool. We get hinges at the elbow, which also have swivels. So swivel hinge combo there. Figma style joint. Wrists feature the newer style wrist joints. So swivel hinge, allowed to rock forward and back. Something to take note of, the hands actually have the peg inserts at an awkward angle. So that way Link is always sort of like this, and you just have to play with the articulation. And you'll see that a bit more in the next section. It's so this way he can hold the swords and whatnot a bit easier. But anyway, yeah, great arm movement. He can completely cross his arms over like that. So that's really cool. We do have an ab crunch, which is a ball joint. Real fluid movement there, which is awesome. Here's something that I didn't know until recently. This pack is actually on a ball joint. So if you need to move it for some reason, you can. Legs, ball joints at the hips. Unfortunately, the tunic, as usual, will block the articulation. So realistically speaking, that's about as far as it can go. and you have the chainmail there, so if that is in fact chipping or flaking or whatever that was found here, then that will definitely cause an issue over time. So you do want to be careful there. And then we also get swivels, so you can spin Link's legs around. Usual joints for the knees. We get hinge and a little bit of swivel movement. Not too much there because that's how the sculpt works. Same joints for the ankles, so we get ankle rocker movement there, which is pretty neat, and we can swivel them around. And we get a toe hinge that far up, and you can probably get it to go, yep, that far down. So that's pretty cool. So Link, if you can think of a pose, chances are you're going to be able to get him in it. Unfortunately, you're going to have to work the legs a little extra hard to get him into that specific pose that you're probably thinking of, but still, with those arms and being able to twist and turn him into any sort of pose you would like, with all of the accessories, you're going to put Link into one awesome pose on the shelf. A really great display piece. Now the accessories, and boy do we have a ton of them, so I'm going to go through them as fast as possible while covering them as much as possible. Standard Link comes with hands, I believe 2 sets because the third set is for the bow and arrow, so it makes no sense for it to come with that third set. But anyway, 2 faceplates, Hylian shield, and Master Sword with sheath. Obviously a stand too. DX Link comes with the Orden Sword and Sheath, Hero's Bow and 1 arrow, the Hawkeye Ball and Chain, and 1 claw shot with a closed and open claw with extended chain. Holy Moses, that's a lot. We also get extra stands. 1 normal one and 1 with an associated claw, so this way you can use it with the claw shot. Alright, let's keep it going. The hands. Aside from fists, we get 1 set with holes in it to hold different items, 1 splayed set, and 1 set to hold the bow and arrow. Swapping the hands out is easy. All you have to do is grip by the wrist and pull, and then put the other one on. But keep in mind that the holes in the hands are at an angle to accommodate different movement with all the different accessories, as I kind of showed you in the last section, and as you can kind of see here. Aside from the standard expression, we get 1 with an angrier expression, and 1... derp expression. Yeah, the eyes kind of look awful here. Anyway, to swap the faces, all you have to do is remove the front hairpiece, wiggle off the faceplate, slide the new faceplate on, and then reattach the hair. I bumble around a bit here, but that's because I'm recording and it's difficult to walk and chew gum at the same time. The Master Sword and Sheath are up next, and the details for the sword are awesome. Nice blue shading, and the hilt has some fantastic details to it. I think all of the Master Swords so far have looked wonderful. The sheath, however, is not as nice with drips of blue paint everywhere on mine. Or is it supposed to be that way? Anyway, to slip the sword in his hand, all you have to do is pull on the handle and it'll pop apart at the hilt. Slide it into Link's hand and you're good to go. The Hylian shield is up next with minor flaws in the details, some small issues perfectionists really won't care for, but I'd have to say it's pretty good. The biggest complaint I would have to say would be paint bubbles in the red paint if you look at it up close. If you're familiar with other Figma Link shields, you know the deal here. One handle pops off and slides into Link's hand while there is one strap that pops off and it is placed around his forearm. Now that's pretty cool, and like I said before, if you've done it with one Link, you've done it with them all. If you want, you can put it on his back around the sheath. To do so, take the strap and handle off and line up the handle like so with a little bump on the sheath on the side with the peg to hold it in place on Link's back. And then attach the sheath to the upper hole in Link's back, and there you go. Simple and easy, but I don't necessarily find it to be the best attachment. Now for the DX accessories. The Orden Sword. Looks nice, very metallic, and not as regal as the Master Sword, which works as a great contrast. The sheath that goes with it is nice too. In terms of functionality, they're both identical to the Master Sword and its sheath. Pops apart at the hilt and then pops together in the hand, and also plugs into the back on that little peg. Now for the Hero's Bow. Very rustic in terms of looks, with some nicely applied metallic paint applications, though no string for the bow, which is unfortunate, but that's also a good thing because that might be a quality control nightmare. The arrow is simple in design with a little metallic arrowhead. There's a black mark on mine, and I can't tell if that's supposed to be that way. Anyway, the bow separates just like so where Link would grip it, and you just slide it into Link's hand. Then the arrow slips into Link's fingers like this, and then knocking the arrow is up to you since there are no marks. And of course, Link needs to aim, and the Hawkeye is used just for that. Yeah, it's a replacement part for the hair when you change faces, and I don't think that it looks the best. It looks odd to me, but here's what it looks like with all the other faces. Anyway, You get Link to wear it by just replacing the front hair part like I said before. Ball and chain is pretty awesome with some fantastic details, and it has a nice metallic chain to it. Well, it feels metallic anyway. It's very heavy. The ball and chain also has a little hole in it, so this way you can use a Figma support stand to make it look like Link is throwing it around. The ball and chain has a nice little peg at the end of the chain that slips into Link's hands easy peasy, so this way he can start swinging it around. Claw shot, last accessory, yay! The detailing is exquisite with great yellows and browns. The chain around the actual grip is nice, and the claw is a nice rusty color. The open claw is nicely executed as well, and it also has a metal-like chain like the ball and chain had. Now, getting Link to hold this is pretty awkward, but it works. There's a hand guard that you pop off, and then there's the handle grip, which also pops off. So all you have to do is slide the handle grip into Link's hand, then you just reassemble, and that's that. But as you can see, it's a bit clunky at some times, and the claw shot is heavy, which can cause Link's hand to droop. Now, unfortunately, this can cause some problems when you're posing, because this might cause Link to tip or the hand to pop off. The claw shot has some assembly parts with one peg for the retracted part and others for the extended part as shown here. For the open claw, good luck working with the small white peg, because that is one small space for that plug to plug in and unplug. Whew! So as you can see, there are a ton of accessories in the DX edition, and we got our money's worth here. It's a shame we don't get a bomb arrow, or second claw shot, but what we do get is a hell of a lot for a nice deal. And now since I flew through that, here's a slideshow with all of the accessories in action set to some stock music. And a size comparison alongside Zelda, and as you can see, he fits in well with your Zelda, Nintendo, or Smash displays. If you set aside some space for him already, he'll fill it up nicely, or if you're looking to replace one of your other Links, he'll do the job just fine. So, buy now, skip, or wait for that deal. Link looks nice with some quality control issues, either notable or you really have to look for it. Pretty damn fine articulation, the DX version with accessories out the wazoo, and again, the normal version really isn't worth squat. Yeah, you get one great package here, and so far this is one contender for my favorite figure so far this year. Whether it's the display presence, action figure quality, or to boost your accessories for other Zelda figures, this is worth it. If you're a Zelda fan, issues aside, this is the figure for you. And if you don't like the price of around $60, maybe wait for a sale later this year. Regardless, you'll enjoy it. Well, that's it for this video, but that doesn't mean you need to close out just yet. There are a few other videos that just popped up on your screen, so go ahead and click on those to watch some more of my videos, and then there's the description to check out, where I've linked to where you can get this figure or others like it, and the credits to see how this video was made, so be sure to check that out. Be sure to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe. I love hearing from you. Thanks for watching, collectors, and I'll catch ya in the next video.